How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to see some of the scariest video clips that are trending right now. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content just like this. This first one was sent in by a viewer named Danielle, and if what she says is true, it's one of the more emotional, scary videos we've ever received. Danielle explains that the father of her children, Michael, passed away in July of 2023. Before he died, he joked, or perhaps promised, that if there was any way to reach out after death, he'd do it. He'd make contact. He'd let them know there was more coming, another beginning. According to Danielle, that's exactly what's been happening. She says she feels him around the house, touches on her arm, warm breath on her face, even her bed shifting while she sleeps. And with his birthday approaching, she believes he's making his presence known more than ever. Along with her story, she sent us a short, eerie video clip. At first, the footage looks corrupted, fuzzy, blurry, almost like the camera is struggling to focus. But around the 18-second mark, something subtle happens. A faint movement appears off to the side of the frame, just enough to catch your eye. Then the camera itself shifts, as if tracking that movement, tilting slightly on its own, before slowly returning to center. No one else was in the room at the time. Danielle says she has no doubt it's Michael, that this is his way of reminding the family not to be sad and to keep his sense of humor alive. Of course, others might see this as a camera glitch, a loose mount, or simple autofocus struggling in low light. But for Danielle, the timing and the feelings she's experienced leave no question. So what do you think this footage shows? A grieving family finding comfort in strange coincidences, or someone genuinely trying to make contact from beyond? Here's a weird one that went viral a few months ago, and it has the tennis world scratching its head. During a second-round match at the Canadian Open in Toronto, Italian player Matteo Gigante suddenly stopped play and called for a video review. He claimed his opponent, Gabriel Diallo, had just hit a shot that went through the net.
It went down?
Yeah.
The serve or the what?
No, the return.
So you want to check it
Yes.
on the video review?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gigante is requesting a video review to check if the ball went through the net.
At first, fans thought it was a mistake, maybe a misunderstanding in the chaos of a fast rally. But when officials rolled the replay, the stadium went silent.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. It's okay, I'm fine with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the return of Diallo went through the net. Call is overturned.
The footage clearly shows Diallo's return piercing through the net cord as though the strings weren't even there. The point was awarded to Gigante and play continued, but the moment went viral almost instantly. Clips flooded TikTok, Reddit, and sports forums, with people calling it everything from impossible physics to a glitch in the Matrix caught live on TV. Even the commentators seemed baffled. Fans in attendance said they had no idea why the point stopped, until the slow-motion replay showed the ball doing the one thing a tennis ball shouldn't be able to do. Of course, skeptics insist there must be a technical explanation, angle distortion, tension in the mesh, or a perfect strike that forced the ball between two strands. But even among seasoned tennis watchers, the moment has been called one of the strangest in recent memory. So what do you think? A freak accident of sports physics or a genuine glitch caught during a high-stakes match?
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog.
Here's a creepy collection of scary videos going viral on TikTok right now.
Again, she's been doing this ever since we got here, every single day.
They come from a user named Sydney, who posted several clips documenting unexplained activity inside the Airbnb she was staying in. It all began with her dog, a Rottweiler, behaving strangely around the staircase of the old house.
And literally this is her. Like, she's just standing here, kind of sniffing around, just very, very focused and very, like, something is definitely making her, like, very interested. Like, she just seems so like locked in on these stairs.
At first, the dog simply stood motionless on the stairs. Sydney thought it was funny, but the longer he stood there frozen, the more disturbing it became.
And she was so locked into the stairs this time around. It was so spooky, guys. Like, honestly, I literally at this point, I was like, I need to ask this landlord, like, what is going on?
That's when she realized the issue wasn't on top of the stairs, it was underneath them.
It's always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here.
There was a locked door beneath the staircase leading to what looked like a small basement area.
Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up, but
Sydney noticed the light inside was on, even though the door was shut tight.
You guys can see the light is on right there.
She slid her phone under the door to take a look. The footage showed nothing unusual, just an empty space. But when she pulled her phone back, something eerie happened. The door handle rattled as if someone or something was standing behind it. This is where the creep factor jumps to a whole new level. Sydney decided to try again, wanting to catch whatever was moving the handle. She slid her phone back under the gap. And something yanked it out of her hand. The phone tumbled down the stairs, landing with the camera pointed at the ceiling. While you could argue she simply dropped it, the next part is harder to explain. The phone moves again, as if picked up and dropped by an unseen force. Sydney eventually retrieved it after contacting the homeowner to unlock the basement door.
Okay, well.
But viewers quickly noticed something odd about the owner's hand, a tattoo of nested triangles.
Thank you.
In conspiracy circles, this symbol is often linked to secret groups or darker beliefs. Exploring the basement, Sydney didn't experience anything unusual in the moment.
Things from coming underneath my house. That's it, I'm out of here.
But later noticed strange scratch marks across the floor and on the backside of the door. Things only got stranger. While filming her dog again on the stairs, the curtains at the top of the landing flutter. Then some balloons drift unnaturally. Possibly just a draft. But moments later, something truly mysterious happens. You can hear the sound of footsteps, someone running up the staircase, except no one is there. Then, in the same instant, the dog's leash flies upward as though pulled by invisible hands. Here it is again in slow motion. The leash rises sharply with no one touching it. So is this old Airbnb really haunted? If these clips are genuine, Sydney may have captured one of the clearest examples of ghostly activity we've seen in a long time. Here's a strange old photograph that's been unsettling viewers online. The image was shared by Facebook user Sandra Green, who says it was taken in the early 1970s. It shows her and her cousin posing in the garden. Nothing unusual at first glance, just two kids smiling for the camera. But between them, there's a third face, a woman's head looking straight at the camera. According to the poster, there was no one else with them when the photo was taken. She says she's looked at this picture many times throughout her life, but only recently noticed the extra person. What makes it even stranger is that the head appears to have no body. There's a clear gap between the two children. No torso, no arms, no shadow. Just a floating face tucked perfectly between them. Sandra points out that she can see her own legs clearly. There's nothing behind her, nothing that could be mistaken for someone standing there. She even notes that the hand around her is her cousin's, not the mysterious person's. The original photo is a Polaroid, which makes editing or double exposure less likely, at least by today's standards. Sandra even posted a short video of her holding the original Polaroid to prove the image is real, vintage, and untouched. So what do you think? Love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments below. This scary video was posted to Reddit by user Critical Music Rare, and it's stirring up a lot of discussion. The caption translates to, "An unidentified creature was seen in the Srisang Dari Kodi area." A humanoid shape can be seen gliding through the air. Just a lone figure suspended over the mountain. What's striking is how this fits a pattern. In the past year, there's been a spate of humanoid UAP sightings from around the world, floating figures over Mexico, mysterious silhouettes in Brazil, dark shapes drifting above the Middle East, and even upright flying men spotted near US airports. Some viewers think these are misidentified drones or optical illusions. Others believe they could be advanced surveillance devices, experimental suits, or something entirely unknown. But sightings like this one in isolated terrain with no structures or aircraft nearby are harder to explain. So what exactly was floating over this mountain in Daikundi? A drone, a figure, or another entry in the growing list of humanoid UAPs documented around the world? This next one comes from a viewer who goes by Kiwi Steve. He says his girlfriend's son was taking a simple selfie while home alone. Nothing unusual, just a casual photo in his unit while his girlfriend was away visiting relatives. But a few days later, his mother noticed something strange behind him. A dark shape lurking in the background. According to the family, there was absolutely no one else in the unit at the time the photo was taken. What makes this one even more interesting is that the couple says they've never experienced anything strange in the unit. No noises, no objects moving, nothing out of the ordinary. They feel completely comfortable living there. So what exactly is this dark silhouette captured behind him? A trick of the lighting? A shadow pattern? Or something standing in the room that he didn't see at the time? Here's an amusing one to break up the chills. This clip, shared by Humans No Context, shows a paranormal prank that takes a very unexpected turn. This person decides to dress up as a ghost and creep up to a neighbour's home security camera. They stand perfectly still, staring ominously into the lens, clearly hoping to give someone a fright. But the prank backfires spectacularly. Another neighbour sees the ghost, and instead of being scared inside, they run outside armed with a huge pot. Before the prankster even has time to react, the neighbour hurls the pot straight at their head. It seems this spooky little stunt didn't go quite as planned. A good reminder that when you pretend to be a ghost, someone might out of nowhere own you with kitchenware. This next sighting comes from Reddit user Weeby Edgelord, who captured something unusual in the skies above Perth, Western Australia. Whatever it is, it pulses softly, appearing, fading, then glowing bright again as it moves. According to the witness, the object wasn't behaving like a conventional aircraft. It shifted direction mid-flight, briefly vanished, then reappeared on a different path moments later. The uploader also noted that they don't live near airports or flight corridors, ruling out commercial planes or helicopters, and the pulsing green light didn't match any standard aviation markers. Viewers have suggested everything from drones to atmospheric reflections to experimental craft, though some say it resembles classic orb-style UAPs seen in sightings around the world. So what do you think this glowing object was? A drone? A rare atmospheric effect? Or something truly unidentified moving through the skies of Perth that night? If you head to these coordinates on Google Maps, you'll see something unusual. Deep in a remote mountain range at the southernmost tip of Chile, satellite imagery shows what looks like the face and upper body of an enormous giant, almost as if something is buried beneath the landscape. The pattern is strangely symmetrical, with features that resemble eyes, a nose, and even a chest. Viewers online have gone wild with theories. Some say it's evidence of the Nephilim, the legendary race of giants mentioned in ancient texts. Given how isolated this region is, believers think it could be the resting place of something ancient, somewhere no human has ever reached on foot. Others are more skeptical, noting that Google's satellite stitching sometimes creates odd mirrored patterns in areas where terrain data is limited. One commenter described the effect as book matching, where two halves of the satellite pass accidentally mirror each other, forming shapes that look intentional. Still, the image is hard to ignore. It's detailed, eerie, and strangely human-like. Whether it's a glitch, a natural formation, or something more mysterious tucked beneath the ice and stone, that's for you to decide. This next creepy clip, shared by Crazy Paranormal, has been doing the rounds online. A group of friends was filming late at night when they noticed a strange-looking face staring out from a parked car nearby. But what happens next takes this to a whole new level of creepy. Out of nowhere, flames suddenly burst inside the car, right in front of the person's face. And the figure doesn't react. Just staring forward as if nothing unusual is happening. The group filming can be heard panicking, trying to make sense of what they're witnessing, and before long the clip went viral, with viewers offering their own theories. Some think the woman was performing some kind of ritual. Others say the calmness in the presence of flames is too unnatural, calling her a witch, or something even stranger caught on camera. The complete lack of reaction, combined with that eerie, expressionless face, has left many viewers unsettled. Scary videos like this certainly make you wonder, could this be a ritual, a malfunction, or something truly unexplainable sitting quietly in the dark?
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase, Señor, tu voluntad en la tierra.
This next scary photo comes from Facebook user Jack Henry, and it was taken inside a temple in Sahuayo, Michoacan, Mexico. According to the person who snapped the picture, they never noticed anything unusual at the time, but later, something eerie stood out. Looming over the glass display is a dark shadow figure positioned directly behind the likeness of the young martyr Saint Jose Sanchez del Rio. Its shape is humanoid, but the photographer insists no one else was standing there. The display itself shows a sculpted representation of Jose's body. Some online have mistakenly claimed it's incorrupt, but it's not. It's a crafted likeness beneath the glass, honoring his memory. To understand why this image has captured so much attention, you have to know the history. Jose Sanchez del Rio was a 14-year-old boy who fought in the Cristera War of the 1920s, a time when the Mexican government savagely persecuted the church, destroyed monasteries, and executed priests. Young Jose was captured, tortured, and ultimately killed for refusing to renounce his faith. His last words were, "Viva Cristo Rey," long live Christ the King. He was canonized in 2016, and his tomb in Sahuayo has become a deeply important site for pilgrims. So when viewers saw a shadowy figure seemingly standing watch beside the display, Speculation ran wild. Some believe it could be the ghost of Saint Jose himself, a spiritual presence lingering near the place where he's honoured. Others think it could be a trick of the light, a reflection, or an unnoticed visitor moving through the frame. But for many who've seen the photo, the shape feels deliberate, almost protective. So what do you think? A shadow person, a trick of exposure, or something sacred caught on camera in one of Mexico's most historic temples?
What is that?
This next unnerving recording comes from Washington State, filmed on November 11th, 2025 at around 3:45 p.m, and it has viewers divided.
It's gotta be someone's truck, right?
The footage shows a strange laser-like reflection pulsing deep in the woods.
Is that a fire?
Bright reds and greens flicker through the trees, shifting up and down in a way that doesn't look like headlights or campfire glow.
Yeah, purples, but it's going up and down.
The person filming sounds confused.
Is that a fire? What was that?
Commenters came up with a range of theories. Some think it could be a trance laser setup, maybe a group planning a secret rave in the forest, testing out their gear before nightfall.
It's gotta be someone's truck, right?
But others say the light pattern looks too controlled, too smooth, and too isolated to be something man-made. They believe it's a UFO caught on camera.
Is that a fire? What was that?
Remember to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more scary videos just like this one. Slapping that like button also helps a lot as well. And as always, we love reading your comments below. This is part of our ongoing exploration of the screaming skulls of the UK, and today we're diving into one of the darkest and most morally charged legends of them all, the screaming skulls of Calgarth Hall. Set near Windermere in the Lake District, the story centres on a quiet, hard-working couple, Crasta and Dorothy Cook, and the powerful corrupt magistrate who destroyed their lives. In the 1500s, the Cooks lived on a small farm at Troutbeck Bridge. Honest, humble, and by all accounts kind, they tended their land with pride. But their neighbour, Miles Phillipson, wanted that land for himself. A wealthy justice of the peace, he used his influence like a weapon, and when the Cooks refused to sell, he set a trap they couldn't escape. One Christmas, Phillipson invited them to dinner under the guise of making peace. But during the meal, he slipped a stolen silver goblet into Dorothy's belongings. By morning, soldiers arrived, found the hidden cup, and arrested the couple for theft, a capital crime. When the trial began, Phillipson himself presided and sentenced them to death. As they walked to the gallows, Dorothy issued a curse so fierce it would shape the next century of the Phillipson family's life. Dorothy's final words promised three things. The Cooks would haunt the Phillipsons night and day, their business affairs would never prosper, and no Phillipson will own an inch of land. Phillipson immediately tore down the Cooks' cottage and built a brand new mansion on the same spot, Calgarth Hall. But on the anniversary of the theft, when the family first moved in, two human skulls suddenly appeared on the staircase. No one knew where they came from, no explanation made sense. But every night after that, the Phillipsons were tormented by horrific screams that echoed through the hall. The skulls became the physical anchors of the curse, immovable, indestructible, and endlessly returning. Over the years, Phillipson tried everything to rid himself of the relics, crushed them, burned them, reduced them to dust, buried them miles away, threw them into Lake Windermere. But the skulls always returned the next morning, whole and untouched. Meanwhile, the curse unfolded exactly as Dorothy had vowed. The Phillipson estate collapsed, business ventures failed, friends stopped visiting. In time, the once wealthy family sold off everything except the hall itself, and eventually abandoned even that. Only when the last Phillipson left Calgarth forever did the screaming cease. The curse had run its course. In 1790, Bishop Richard Watson purchased the property. He disliked the look of the old hall, and perhaps he'd heard the whispers about the skulls. Watson performed a ritual laying of the spirits and then ordered the skulls bricked up inside the walls, permanently sealing them away. From that moment on, Calgarth Hall fell silent. Over the next century, the site was transformed. First a hospital during World War I, later a children's orthopedic centre, and today a retirement facility. Yet locals still speak quietly about the skulls hidden inside its walls. Like many screaming skull legends, the Calgarth story can be seen as both a haunting and a parable. On one level, it's a supernatural curse tied to human remains. On another, it's a cautionary tale about corruption, abuse of power, and greed. Some even believe the skulls served as metaphysical title deeds, eternally asserting the rightful ownership of the land by the dispossessed cooks. Whether historical truth, moral allegory, or a chilling piece of regional folklore, Calgarth Hall remains one of Britain's most unsettling skull legends, and one of the most enduring stories we've covered in our series on screaming skulls. So what do you make of the Cook's Curse? A morality tale, a lingering spirit, or a relic of a darker past still echoing through England's old halls? Sometimes these old folkloric legends are more unsettling than any collection of scary videos could ever be. Now, if you want to watch some more scary ghost clips, then click these links right there. They'll keep you entertained well into the evening, we promise. Leave us some comments down below, smash that thumbs up button, and that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.